Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the discourse on the book called Christ in You. And this is part 2 of this third lesson called Seek and Ye Shall Find. And I'm joined here by my friend. I'm Angel Christ Child, as I said in the first part. And my friend's going to continue to read from page 171. Welcome, friend.
Welcome. Yeah, continuing on here, it reads, read this truth into every detail of the day and live in the assurance that God cannot fail. See reality, God behind every shadow.
Now that I really like. See reality, God behind every shadow. And of course, Miracles teaches this is the truth as well, because this is a shadow world. It's an illusion. So to see God behind every shadow, which you could consider a body a shadow because it's not real. So when you see a body and it's a shadow, you can say that is, I can see through that, like with the great rays that we just spoke about. So of course, Miracles teaches, as the ego would limit your perception of your brothers to the body, so would the Holy Spirit release your vision and let you see the great rays shining from them, so unlimited that they reach to God. And that's from text chapter 15, the holy instant and the attraction of God. Okay.
That's he said that elsewhere in the book that that the darkness has friendly means, or
Yes.
is kind of like a seed in the ground. It's in the darkness.
Right, I remember that. The darkness has friendly uses, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's I think that's powerful, because it's saying you can see God that way.
Right.
And even if you see the shadow, this is a shadowy world, think, oh, I'm seeing God underneath. Somehow the reality is one of separation. But see God still within us, even in this outer world that's has that kind of unreal unrealness to it.
Yeah, an unreality, unreality full of darkness and evil and, duality, which is not real. There's no duality in the real world. So shall we go on?
Yeah. As you go into the outer, cast out fear. Be not anxious, and the very elements will be at one with you. This is the rule of the spiritual. Your whole supply for every need is within yourself. The day is at hand when man on earth will be a true spiritual being.
Imagine that. Imagine that your every need of your body is within yourself through Christ, the bread of Christ, and that there will come a time when we start to realize our spirituality and wield that power as true spiritual beings. And, there's something here that I thought was appropriate from A Course in Miracles, friend. The second coming is the time in which all minds are given to the hands of Christ to be returned to the Spirit in the name of true creation and the will of God. This is the second coming. And that's from Workbook Part 2, 9. What is the second coming? It's very different from what we've been taught.
That's why he says verbiage like reversing the order and kind of like awakening us to the how we're kind of seeing things backwards and saying, well, but see God behind that. See, kind of set it right, set it straight in your vision and
Yes.
reality that you realize within yourself, and that the outer is an illusion.
Yes.
So as you go into the outer, cast out fear. Be not anxious, and the very elements will be at one with you. This is the rule of the spiritual. I think I was already there, but yeah, it's really saying that the day is at hand when we're going to be a true spiritual being on earth. And even now, you have expressed yourself in the present phase, and the God-man is seeking a higher form of manifestation. But all must cooperate, and you are learning the laws of the spiritual kingdom for this end, that sorrow and sighing may flee away, and the sons and daughters of God may hunger no more. There's a couple Bible verses here for that particular sentence.
Okay.
Isaiah 35:10, regarding the word sighing, references to Isaiah 35:10. And those the Lord has rescued will return. They will enter Zion with singing. Everlasting joy will crown their heads. Gladness and joy will overtake them, and sorrow and sighing will flee away.
Lovely. Lovely.
And then the second part of that sentence, towards the very end, it says, hunger no more. The reference to hunger no more is Revelation 7:16. Never again will they hunger, never again will they thirst. The sun will not beat down on them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes.
Wow.
It's a very renewing, cleaning, uplifting message.
Yes. Yes, indeed. I always thought that this would be our gift when we return and left this place of sorrow and sighing, but now I'm starting to think differently about it. And, maybe what it means is we have to see it for what it truly is, an illusion and distraction from our own powers and our own self, and claim our own powers back. And like A Course in Miracles says, be well in the holy instant, claim your power and use it, even here in this illusion, because it's an illusion. It's like a shadow world. If you shine your light, the shadow world will disappear. But it also says in the Course too that each child of God needs to be aware, and it says this as well in here, that we need then to have each person experience this and express it. Okay.
Yeah. Your responsibility is great, but your work is for eternity. Do not lose heart. Be of good courage. The work may seem slow, but God is in it. The result in yourself will be a first sense of command, and later you will smile at your old fears and limitations. For you will be at home and at rest in any climate or circumstance.
Oh, interesting. Amazing. It's just mind-boggling. Holy cow.
Won't that be nice to just walk out on a winter day and it would just feel like a nice spring
Comfortable.
day.
Yeah. Just feel comfortable, no matter what. I can't even imagine that, but I'm going to try to. And look within. It says, don't look without, look within. Don't look outside and see what the environment is. Look inside.
Hmm. And somebody was telling me a story of some monks who can go out in the cold, the very cold, and they can say this mantra or whatever, and then
Yes,
that they can keep their body warm.
right. Yep, I've heard about that for decades. All these kind of ways people overcome the environment with their mind, and we're meant to be doing that. Not just monks, regular everyday people. And that's another step in the right direction to our journey home out of this illusion and into the truth. And then we're using our bodies to learn the truth instead of using our bodies to be separate and apart from each other and stuck in an illusion.
Well, if Jesus could walk on water, then he showed us that it's possible to command even the physical atoms and override that with the spiritual reality and spiritual force of what is real. So he showed
Right.
us by some of his miracles how
Yes.
the seeing impossible can be made possible. So that's empowering. So continuing on here, and do you not see for yourself how your thought has been concerned with your dependence upon material warmth, food, and sustenance? Later, you will put these in their true place, and life will open out its treasure.
Wonderful. I have something to add, but maybe you could just read the next sentence as well, please.
At present, your whole time and thought are given to caring for the daily outer life. Think what the spiritual being with its higher faculties could enter into if you gave half as much time and thought to their true life.
Another mind-boggling statement. If we gave half the thought to having our daily needs met, that we gave as much thought as spiritual beings, what we could do with our minds. So the Course teaches this. This is the thought which should precede the thoughts that we review. Each one is but clarifies some aspect of this thought, or helps it to be more meaningful, more personal and true, and more descriptive of the holy self we share now and prepare to know again. And this is the thoughts. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And this is from a workbook review, part 1, review 5. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And love supplies all our basic needs. Okay.
Good treasure, and there's actually a Bible verse around that word treasure. Deuteronomy 28:12. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but borrow from none.
So he's going to give and not take away. It's wonderful.
Nice feeling. So coming towards the end of this particular lesson here, it says, live simply. Take no anxious thought for the things of today. Let the dead bury their dead. Follow me, I am within.
And we've heard that quote from the Bible before as well. Let the dead bury their dead. Follow the Christ within. Christ
Yeah.
in you, Christ in you.
That's really powerful. He says it that way because, yeah, the Bible verse says that Jesus said, follow me and let the dead bury their dead.
Yes.
Quote from Matthew 8:22. But I like how he, like, the very next sentence and the last sentence of the lesson was, I am within. So he's saying and emphasizing in this book, Christ in you, that says, Christ is within us.
Right.
He's kind of like telling you like the true meaning of that, of what that verse is getting at, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, very interesting. So thank you for joining me, friend, and thank you, listeners. And in the next part, fourth lesson, part 3, we'll be covering the knowledge of God shall cover the earth. And this also promises to be a wonderfully interesting and very detailed lesson, a longer one. So thank you for joining me, friend. And until next time, be well. And remember the bread of life from Jesus.
Well, I'm saying my Lord's Prayer every day, as many times as I can remember it, to say it at least once a day.
I do too, and I use it to quiet my mind. So thank you again for joining us, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good week.